Beep, beep, beep,
Hopefully everything is good. We're talking basketball, WNBA, and I guess we're gonna go straight into our hot takes. Or I lied. We're gonna go straight into our first question, which was who or which player do you feel like is being overlooked for the All WNBA first team?
Ooh, that's a hard one. Um, what do you think?
Arike Ogunbowale. She's like an answer. I feel like she could easily be on first team. The problem is her team's record is just not good enough. But with the skill wise, she's being overlooked. And the reason why I brought that up is because like I was just looking onto the list and I'm looking at a bunch of people's rosters for all WNBA, and the only person's name who I don't see consistently is Arike. But to her defense, she is the only guard. She's one of the two only guards that's ranked top 10 in PER. So I'm like, you can't. How can you dismiss her just because her team's record is bad? I don't know about first team. Like I kind of would lean yes, but I can
Who would you
understand.
take out?
That's what I was getting ready to say. I can see the case against it. Who would I take out? So you already got the Golden Trinity in there, the Holy Trinity, which is Fee, Wilson, and Stewart. I'm gonna put Clark in there, and then for the fifth spot, it's okay. So honestly,
What?
but yeah, Caitlin
You
Clark
gonna
is
put you
that
gonna put
again.
Clark in there above Mitchell?
First team, yeah, absolutely. Why you say that?
Because I think Mitchell is she's killing it this year. Kelsey Mitchell is killing the game this year, and
Absolutely.
it's kind of getting overshadowed by Caitlin Clark, but I don't think it should be.
I don't either. I think so. Funny enough, I have Kelsey as like a fringe second team all W. I feel like Indiana has the ability to have two players on the All WNBA team. But just if I could with the Kelsey Mitchell point, she's number 9 in scoring, so she does deserve credit for that. And like, I absolutely would have her on an All WNBA team. Um, it's a lot of guards though. But as far as talking about between her and Caitlin, I don't think it's a question at this point because Caitlin right now is yeah no Caitlin is ranked number 5 in PER in the entire league as a rookie, and I mean she's literally the first guard after Jonquel Jones, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa
Mm-hmm.
Collier, and then Asia Wilson, and all the everybody I mentioned has an MVP to their name, and then it's her, and then I want to say it's somebody else, Brittany Griner, NECA, and then De'Erica Hamby, and then Aaliyah Boston is at number 9, which I was like, I could
But she should be.
so I'm like, if you're gonna put Aaliyah Boston on all WNBA, which she has a case for, which one of the forwards are you gonna take out? It's like the same thing that I said about Angel Reese. Angel Reese also had a strong, she should have strong consideration, but it's like okay, if you have they have there is a log jam at the post position at the forward/center. You got Alyssa Thomas, who I haven't even mentioned is on my first team All WNBA, which we have like several. So that's why I wanted to see like who were you thinking like if you had to pick. But yeah, I absolutely would pick Clark first team, and then the last spot would either go to like Arike, Alyssa Thomas, Kalia Copper, Brittany Griner. Like there's like a lot of names. Sabrina Ionescu. There's like a bunch of names that could kind of go into that.
No, I'm definitely keeping. If you keep Caitlin Clark on there, in my opinion, then I mean I think she makes a strong case. But I definitely love what Kelsey Mitchell is doing for Indiana this year, and I think what she's doing is getting overlooked by Caitlin Clark. I also realized that Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston were the three-headed monster that was the All-Star team and the three-headed monster that Washington has to deal with tonight, right? And so I think all three of them should be on either first and second team. But in my opinion, I'm a huge Angel Reese fan. I think Asia Wilson just broke her rebounding
Rebounding
record.
record.
Yeah, but that was just the last game, and Angel's been out. She hasn't played in the last 4 games. Right. And so it took 4 games for anybody to catch up with that thought process. So I definitely think what the rookie is doing in Chicago should be marked out.
I would if they had a third team All WNBA because
Not
like
third.
no they
That's
need to have
disrespectful.
for her. That why would that be disrespectful? Why you say
For
that?
Angel?
Yeah, why would that be disrespectful? She's a rookie.
She's broke all of these records and then been sitting out for the last 5 games, and y'all just now catching up to her. Come on.
Oh no, you heard me preaching that gospel since day one. But with Angel, it's like, again, we said that. I told us the book. I'm like, you got John Quill, you got Brittany Griner, Alyssa Thomas, Nneka Ogwumike.
I can take out Brittany Griner and Alyssa. In my opinion.
Thomas. Alyssa, I don't blame you. I mean, I'm not saying I don't blame you, because a lot of people look at Alyssa Thomas's stats and they're like, oh, she's averaging a triple single. Why would you put her on first team All-WNBA? And that's kind of what my take is. I'm not saying, like, I see her impact because she's there on PER, but I couldn't. If you ask me who would I rather have on my team, Arike or Alyssa Thomas, it's not even a question. It's Arike. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wouldn't put her on All-WNBA over her. And then, like, a lot of those names. So you say you'll take Brittany Griner over Angel?
I said I'm taking Angel Reese over both Alyssa Thomas and Brittany Griner.
I agree with that. I think we talked about that. I think Angel is gonna have a better career than Brittany, but before the end of the year, or before her end of her career, rather. Let me just read this. This says they are fourth. Who are the two that you're talking about? They are 4th and 5th in the league in points scored, separated by 3 points. Hey, shout out to Rindy, new listener. You got to tell me what you mean. Ghost put this disrespectful. He liked your comment.
Exactly, so because it is.
But let me again, third team. If Angel, if you're hearing this, I think you're all WNBA performer, but that position is tough, man.
I don't care how long the list is. I don't care how long the list is. I don't care. We saw her come into this year and change the position. She made everybody work harder. She's a dog. And like I said before, she can use it, but I'm going to license her to use it. Everybody needs an angel. Period. That's her tagline. Everybody needs an angel.
So Ghost also agrees with you. I want to see some of the chat. So I'm going to pull this up for y'all. I guess so we can kind of see this right quick. But yeah, everybody does need it. That's been in my mind ever since I heard it from you, Tosh. So this is the PER list. So right here we got Wilson at 1, Fee at 2, Stewart at 3. I'm not gonna keep reading them, but this is what I was saying. There's such a long list of people. She's right here. She is right here, and this is as a rookie.
Exactly.
So, I know. I think that's really impressive. So again, you got.
It's at a rookie.
Wait, so better question. Would you put a Leah Boston or Angel Reese on first or on an All-WNBA team? I probably would go Reese too, though. I think you're going to lean Reese, but I'm going to probably go Reese too.
Yeah, I told you who I said. I'm not going to change it. Yeah. I like AB, though.
I do like AB too, but I think I probably go, honestly, would lean towards closer to Reese. All right, let me ask you this then. So who do you have for your coach of the year?
Ooh.
Everybody, a lot of like the consensus is like Cheryl Reed from Minnesota because like they're one of the best teams.
They are nice.
I wanted to, so before I ask like who is your coach, let me ask you this: what do you look for? Like, what do you look for in the criteria if you were voting for coach of the year? So like, do you care more about the wins? Do you care more about like player development? Do you care more about overcoming adversity? Like what is like the?
I love that question. I love that question, and I think it's a question that's necessary, right? In all sports, I believe a head coach should be a coach that cares about the team on and off the court. So I think about camaraderie. I think about winning. I think about being present for their team, making sure that the team has a collective camaraderie that nobody can break through. And I think about all of that. You know, I like the way that. And I think people who have set the bar, like a Dawn Staley, she has set the bar in regards to what coaching looks like. And so for me, I look for that whole person type of coach that really digs into their team and makes sure that she knows what's happening or he knows what's happening with the entire team and not taking falls or falters for parts of the team being out of order. So I look for all of that. In regards to that, I think that the Lynx coach, man, she is really doing a thing. I also think Hammond is a great coach with the Aces.
She is.
Yeah. So you're
going Reeve, I'm assuming?
No, I don't know yet. I'm still the jury is still out for me in regards to that.
If I could, I would pick honestly, and I'm gonna go with Jordan's pick, which is Brondello, and I probably would go with Brondello because they won the most games, even though they're a super team. She's made them play at a different level. Like New York is a serious title threat this year. But what I will say is this. That's what I was just getting ready to say. So Rindy brought up a really great point. Cheryl Reeve, to her defense, if you want to give it to her, I have no problem with that. Not give it to her; she earned the award. But like she doesn't care for her personality, but she has created an almost unbeatable team. I can't disagree with that any further. And that's why, again, I got Minnesota as one of my championship favorites, if not the, outside of Las Vegas. And then again, he put Reeves as next level when it comes to, I think he meant to put substitutions at the proper time. And absolutely, like she is a great coach, and the fact that she's able to utilize Fee in a plethora of different ways for the team to win, whether it be like her facilitating, her scoring, her defending X player, Y player, bringing in players off the. Everything I'm saying, it sounds like I would be voting for Cheryl Reeve.
It definitely sounds like it.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. I don't disagree with that at all. Hammond deserves to get kicked out of the league.
Why?
I just spoke to Coach Hammond.
Who said that?
Why?
I just said hello to her. You know, I don't because of what happened in Diego. Because of what happened to D.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
I'm sorry, I forgot about that, and I don't know how I forgot about it. So before you jump on my head,
no, you go.
Yeah.
Jordan, would you put Angel Reese on second team? That's a question I want to ask just for the record.
First team.
Oh, you would put her on first. You would put her on first, Tosh?
Second team All-WNBA?
Yeah.
No.
So okay. Hold on. I want to ask that. So who is your 5 for All-WNBA? Who would you go? Oh no, don't tell me.
Well, did you see the list that ESPN put out?
Put out the list. Tell me about who. I know Clark was on it. Thomas was on it. That was the last pick that we were kind of debating about. Is Alyssa Thomas the last pick that should be on All-WNBA?
It was Asia Wilson, Brianna Stewart, Nafisa, Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
And I'm looking for it. I can't find the last one.
Who the last one? It was 2 different ones. I know Alexa had Alyssa Thomas, and then I know Mike Vopel had, I don't know who Mike put, but I know Alyssa put Alyssa Thomas. Why, do you agree with the list or no?
Yeah. I wouldn't put Angel Reese above any of those players. You know, regardless of position. She also played 25, 26 games, something like that. So she hasn't even played enough games. Yeah, no way.
Yeah, I mean, if there was a third team, I would have her and Kelsey Mitchell on it. Kelsey Mitchell's like fringe second team, and the reason I'm bringing up Angel is because both of them they honestly should have a gripe about making that team. Like she's number 12 in PER. That's like the next tier, right? Like the cutoff should be 10, right? So if like you're gonna choose the 10 best and the most efficient, she's right there underneath that fringe. And also I'm like, I would easily put her at, I mean, if there was a third, which I told you they should build a third team. I understand what you mean and your reasoning, but I would absolutely put a third team on there for sure. But I think we agree on that with Angel, but I did want to hear what Tasha had to say. So we'll have to get her back on the line.
Yeah. Stand on that business.
Yeah, for sure. Let me ask you, who are you going with for most improved?
Probably Dejanay Carrington.
Okay, so we both agree on that.
It's close though, right? For me, it's her or Kenny Carter, but I think she played more games than Kenny Carter. So for me, a lot of this comes down to when it's close, how many games did you actually play? You know, because when it's close, you know, it's when you measure impact, it's how often were you there on the floor, especially when the games are so much shorter and there's a less amount of games.
You're right.
Am I reverberating?
No, you sound perfect. Let me ask you this though. I'm in a and a dining establishment here in Las Vegas, the wonderful Las Vegas. So
Oh,
no, it's not you.
where are you right now?
The food court.
The food court? What?
I'm in Las Vegas I'm in Mandalay Bay. So I'm in Mandalay Bay right here for y'all. We're here for the Las Vegas Aces game. I just finished speaking with Asia, just told her what's up, good game, etc. Coach Hammond. Yeah, so we're here for the game, and I spoke with everybody from Dallas, so but we're here for that. But let me ask you this.
Wait, so if you think Barrington is your most improved player, who do you have for second?
Carter. I think we agree on that. It'll be Carter. It would be Carter. Probably be Carter. Ariel put yes. That's funny.
Ariel's here.
How are you doing, Ariel? Ghost, Ariel, Rindy, everybody's here. It's watching.
Ghost is here? Oh, man.
Yeah, Ghost is here. Rindy was here, too. It's one of our newest listeners. Let me ask you this. Which player should make the awards conversation that you feel like is not getting enough credit? Oh, Jordan, she said yes, there is reverb.
Is it on me or is it you?
No, I think I have no clue who it's on.
It was there when Tasha was here, too. I thought it was Tasha, but it might be you.
So I'm gonna mute my mic every time I have to speak, but that's all right. But yeah, I was gonna ask you, who do you feel like should be on the awards list that we haven't spoken about?
God, like across all awards?
I got a name. If you want me to go first, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Bridget Carrollton, and I feel like an idiot for not saying this. So she has a legitimate chance to win 6th Woman of the Year. I would have picked Tiffany Hayes, but she literally has a chance. Like, if it's between her and Tiff Hayes, most metrics lean towards Carrollton. Now, obviously, she plays. I'm like, now the question is, are you gonna say she plays on a better team? Like,
but
I'm gonna say Bridget Carrollton.
Don't you feel like she's usually open though? And when she does go off, it's so memorable. But I feel like there is a lack of consistency, and you might be having a little bit of recency bias.
Maybe, but over the last, she's averaging more points, more assists, more rebounds. She shoots better than the person who I just literally spoke with and told I would pick you for 6th Woman of the Year. Now, if I could for Tiffany Hayes, she retired. She was on somebody's couch. She came back. She was on somebody's couch. She came back, and then she has been killing in the WNBA. And just that alone deserves some recognition. So I probably would. I'm gonna lean towards Tiff, but it's like the Aces got three spots locked up. That's a tough one for the league. Again. So I'm gonna lean towards Tiff in that one.
Dude, that team is so scary right now.
Who, the Aces?
Yeah.
What? Because they're going to be in the playoff mode like now? They're rested. They're going to be ready.
I mean, they're literally turning it on. This is literally what the rest of the league probably was fearing. They just turned it on.
And I mean, and on they go. Tosh, if you come back and we can hear you properly, I'd love to still hear your Angel Reese take. I would love to hear it. Okay. But let's move on. And I guess let's do this. Speaking of Angel Reese, fair or foul, Coach Weatherspoon should keep her job. I'm gonna go. If you want me to go first, I'll start out. But I'm gonna say it's fair that she should keep her job because she's a first-year head coach, and that is a lot of expectations when you're playing with a completely new roster. There's a lot of expectations when your best player is a power forward who doesn't control the paint. I mean, who doesn't control the perimeter. She for the most of the year, she's been looking for a guard. She had Kennedy on the bench coming off as a 6th woman. She put her in the starting lineup. So like she's been tinkering and tweeting a lot with the, hey, what's good, Diggs? How you doing?
So you give her credit for bringing Carter onto the starting court. Do you blame? Does she get any blame for the Marina Mabry situation?
Yes, but Marina didn't want to be a part of that team when she realized that it was going to be a rebuilding team. So when you say blame, the question is like, would I shift her away? Nah, you're gonna have to thug it out with me, and we're gonna have to figure it out together. I'm not trading you to a championship contender, even though she's not the one that made the trade. I'm not trading you to a championship contender, and then we got to figure out how to win without you. And then but then again, they brought in a Rachel Banham, they brought in another Mariah Jefferson, so they brought in players to help. But I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It's fair. I think she should easily retain her job. I think she needs at least 2 to 3 years to kind of implement the defense she wants with the players she wants and with the staff she wants. Honestly, I think Coach Weatherspoon is probably one of the better I'm not gonna say one of the better coaches yet, but I think she will turn. How about this? I think she will turn into a better coach, if I could say that. And I think she honestly is just missing the point guard that she can use to kind of mold and shape.
Well,
it looks like you're going foul.
No, I'm not. But it is. Do you think it's a question that deserves asking?
Say it again. Is it worth asking?
Is it? Yeah. Like, do you? If
so
you're
the Chicago Sky fans say yes.
Yeah. Like, do you at least have to think about it? Do you at least look at who's available? Because they're 13 and 26 right now, you know, and they had 2 picks in the top 7, and they both turned out pretty well, man.
That's not a bad. Okay, is it worth looking at? I would say not yet, but I could see if like they keep losing. Yeah, I could see so. And then remember, they were in the playoff spot, so I know regardless, even without it. But I already knew once Angel went down, they weren't going because that's just how impactful she is. Like if you lose Caitlin, they're not going either. So like if you lose Wilson, if any team loses their best player, they're not going to go to the playoffs for the most part. So I didn't think that once she went down that they were going to get better, like some of these pundits thought, which is just silly. But no,
yeah,
I think she deserves a little bit more time. Of course, it's absolutely crazy. Did you happen to see? Where we go?
Well, so I think that she should retain her job, right? But I think she's probably got the hottest seat in the league next year.
What about? Yeah. Okay, why? Because of everything she has around her.
I think so. There's higher expectations on her than Kurt Miller. You know, Cameron Brink only played a handful of games this year, and I mean, you know, the Sky at one point there was an expectation that they were going to make the 8-7 seed. You know, at one point they were in contention for that, and they've got a great group of players. You know, or at least solid ones anyway. But yeah, if they can get a point guard in the offseason and integrator, you know, I think she'll be on the hot seat.
I mean, hopefully not. Hopefully they get turned around and she kind of thrives, but you know, we shall see. But if I'll say this, so you brought up Kurt Miller, do you think he should also keep his position? You said yeah.
But it's close. Yeah, but it's close. You know,
who do you think will get the axe first, Teresa or Kurt?
I think the two. I would have to guess Teresa, because the expectations are higher over there. Yeah.
So
what do you think?
What if they get Paige next year and they're still bad?
The Sparks?
Yeah.
Goodbye, Carmelo.
I don't think that they would. I don't think so. You would. I don't think that they would. And I'm not saying that they should, but I don't think that they would. Who do I think will? Do
you think every coach keeps their job next year?
Do you think every coach should keep their job next year?
Yeah. Do you think every coach should? I mean, the only. You know, so here's what I'll say. The league has gotten a lot more difficult to win. Every team is so good. There's almost no easy games on the schedule anymore. You know, so in that regard, you know, Kurt Miller, Teresa Weatherspoon, Christy Sides. I mean, you could almost make an excuse for every loss because every team is so good. And even the teams that are struggling, like the Dallas Wings, they have superstars and they could beat you on any given night.
They might just beat the Aces tonight. Mess around and beat the Aces tonight. Speaking of beatings, what were your thoughts of this right here? This situation where I was in the building for this. Rakia Jackson and Brittany Griner. And Rakia was hype before this game. She was hype. She was hype before the game. I talked to her about potentially being one of the best scorers in the WNBA class.
I actually didn't see this.
Well, yeah, this literally happened right before halftime, which sucked because she was actually playing well. So Brittany Griner throws an elbow. I'm gonna just zoom in right here. She throws an elbow right there. Right there at her face. And it's like, what do you expect her to do? I'm surprised she didn't just punch her right there. Like that,
he ain't soft.
That's tough. That's
Yeah.
an elbow from 6'9", 260 in the face. Boom. And I'm really surprised she didn't just throw a punch right there.
Yeah.
But she did. Oh, there she did. She did throw. What are your thoughts? Okay, better questions. Not what are your thoughts on that? So the better question that I have, and shout out to Kia because she's like such an awesome player. Does the altercation between the two of them, is that type of fight crucial for raising the WNBA's profile, or do you think that it's a foul, or do you think it's a bad thing?
You never want to see that, but it does convey the competitiveness between these two good players. I mean, you never really want to see that in the league, whether it's Caitlin Clark or Rickea Jackson or Brittany Griner or anybody getting into a scuffle. I mean, listen, I already respected the league before this, and it just shows the competitiveness, but no one really wants to see that, Jimbar, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you for that, Jordan. So, I'm trying to read this name, John Doe. He put, it's a bad thing in his opinion for the WNBA, and he also does not like it in the NBA. Yeah, if you're on TikTok, y'all, you're gonna have to be audio learners today. We're gonna get that fixed for y'all. A good look for fans, but a bad look for Griner targeting a rookie. Shout out to Rindy who put that in the chat. Yeah. I mean, okay, so she was targeting a rookie. So what? But like Brittany talked about it. She said, if y'all want these hands, she got them all for you. That was her. She said something. Not to paraphrase. She said something along those lines. But I wonder why she just threw the elbow. I wonder why she threw that elbow. That's all.
Yeah.
If you could ask me, do I think it raises the league for the profile of the league? I don't know. But what I do know is that the WNBA is a very physical league in general. And the question is, should it be as physical as it is? That's the ultimate question that I have to ask. Is like, should it be this? Should women be fighting each other on the court? I don't really want to see men fighting each other on the court either. I want them to play basketball. But yeah, it just was, it's just something interesting to see. But the WNBA has I think they're just overly physical, if that makes sense.
I totally agree. It's not just physical, but it's a compilation
video. Keep going, Jordan.
It's not just physical, it's like inconsistently physical. So what's considered a foul here is not considered a foul in the fourth quarter, is not considered a foul in the second quarter. And when you have inconsistent officiating, it leads to players getting frustrated with officials. I mean, Caitlin Clark's on 6 technical fouls. I mean, a lot of it, she's arguing foul calls that she thought people were being physical with her, using their elbow, whatever, pushing off. And the inconsistency makes it difficult. Like, how do you play? Like, I mean, Chris Paul had a comment that was like, do you want to play from like the 2000 style or do you want to play the 2020 style? Right? Like, which one do you want? Are we finesse tonight, or are we 1980s bad boy Pistons?
So Junda also put, he feels that the physicality has harmed slightly, and then he said, look at the Chicago Sky team for them, like at the moment, just regarding the physicality. So I mean, I hear you. I think it's fun in spurts when they're jawing and chirping at each other. But it becomes. I wish they would have put that Angel Reese being thrown down to the floor. Like that was crazy. Thomas one? Yeah, that's crazy. Like some stuff I don't want to see in the league. Like I don't want to see.
That's rated R.
I don't want to see Rickea Jackson get elbowed in the temple at the free throw line. I don't want to see that. But I don't want to see that. Official frustration is palpable. Official frustration is real in the WNBA. That's a real topic that we talk about ad nauseum.
Maybe with the increase in revenue, they could get additional training or something like that, or at least figure out which direction we're gonna head in.
I don't think they have a clue what they're trying to do. Let me ask you this. So speaking of because I did just bring up Chicago. Let's do this. Yeah, let's do this. If you were the GM of the Chicago Sky, what would be your first move?
What would be my first move?
Absolutely. I want everyone healthy so we can see the talent. That's what Junda also put. And
yeah. You want to see?
So your first
mean,
move
ideally, I try to keep everybody.
Really? On the Chicago Sky?
I think so. I like everyone.
Why would you keep them if they just had a losing record?
Because it took them a while to figure out their ideal rotation, and now that they have it, and it was overall a young team anyway. Now that there was a period where they were able to gel, and they were becoming a coherent team, you know. And I think Teresa Weatherspoon at least deserves that opportunity to get to coach a cohesive, gelling, growing, getting older team.
So you're keeping everybody back and then just trying to add. So okay, so the first.
Yes.
So what's your first up?
See what draft pick we get and pick and go from there.
So one of my first steps, I'm agree with Rindy. Shout out to Rindy for this. I don't know why I put that one up. I'm picking up Daisha Fair for sure. And it just June just put this. They need a floor general. They need a point guard. Yeah, I'm gonna find a point guard for them in the worst way. Dana Evans said she didn't want to be there anymore. Shout out to Dana.
Who's the best point guard on the market?
Say it again.
Who's the best point guard available on the market?
You know what I'm doing? I'm throwing as much money as I can at take a guess. She plays in Indiana.
Kelsey Mitchell.
Yep. She will be. So I'm getting Daisha Fair as a insurance policy, so she can come in for either Kennedy or for the next guard that I bring in. I'm gonna, if like you said with draft picks, I'm gonna find another shooter in the draft. But in free agency, I am throwing every single.
But Kelsey Mitchell's not really a floor general.
Kelsey, it doesn't matter. They need to think if you have two scoring guards with Kelsey Mitchell and Kennedy Carter, I'm good with that. It doesn't matter as long as the two of them combined are averaging almost 50 points. I wouldn't mind that at all. You average it to Kennedy can pass the ball if she needs to. She averages assists. She can, but that's not her strong suit.
You would add Kelsey Mitchell to this team, and you think that their offense would get like they'd be like a better passing team, or you're not worried about that at all?
I'm not. They need scores. They need shooters. They need scores and shooters, and she does both. Jundo put Kelsey Mitchell ain't going anywhere. We'll riot. Unfortunately, you do not have the ability to tell Kelsey Mitchell where she wants to play next year. Kelsey Mitchell has the ability to tell you where she wants to play next year. And if she does not want to play in Indiana, she can go to anywhere she chooses to, and that is what free agency is about.
Has Kelsey Mitchell stated she doesn't want to return to the Fever?
She hasn't stated anything about her free agency.
Right, that's what I thought. Yeah.
She hasn't stated anything about her free agency. But that's why I said if it were me, I'm throwing out every single dollar available to make sure that she is on that roster. Like, if whatever you got to do, let me see some other point guards that are available. But for a fact, that'll be play one. They need a guard, and Kelsey is the best available guard, and she'd be one of the first people I pick. So let's pull up this WNBA free agency right quick for everybody, so they kind of see. So you got Diana Taurasi, Jordan's favorite.
Why do you always have to say that?
Because I mean, she's one of my favorites. Actually, funny enough. Let's see. All right, so we got Diana Taurasi again. Kelsey Mitchell's right there, one of the first guards selected. Kelsey Plum is another guard. What do you think about Kelsey Plum in Chicago?
I would love
her own team and playing with Angel.
I would love that. I think that'd be a great fit. But I don't think she would ever leave.
I don't either.
Aces.
Would
Bro,
you try
that's
to get
fantasy.
So again,
I can't see her leaving either.
I mean, Kia Nurse, Tiffany Mitchell.
Dude, you're just literally throwing out names.
I'm going through every single guard. Tiffany Hayes, like Odyssey Sims. They should have picked up Odyssey Sims this year.
Oh yeah,
that would have been an easy.
That would have been a good pick.
Yeah, so it's like you don't have much to kind of choose from. You don't. So it's like this one right here. Oh yeah, I'm putting my money on this one. I'm putting all my money on her. We're gonna have to have her develop with Angel. And of course, if you take her off the Fever, it's only gonna help your team get more. I don't think she'd want to leave the Aces, is what Jundal said. He said he don't think she's leaving the Aces, but you never know. It's not for her to decide, and I don't think she is gonna either.
If there was a move, that would be it. It's just hard to see these people leaving those teams, man.
That's literally what Iverson put. Kelsey should stay, but if she leaves, they should get a role-playing two guard and a star wing. I don't disagree with you. Satu Sabali would be another person. but I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think she's leaving Dallas. They're not gonna let her. But then it's like the movement has to happen if things want to change.
Right.
Let me ask you this: are we both in agreement for Clark first team in All-WNBA?
Oh yeah, dude.
All right, so I'm not, because I was gonna bring up Sabrina, but I'm like, I think we both agree.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: who do you think has more to prove in the playoffs, Kelsey Mitchell or Kelsey Plum? Speaking of the Kelseys, Kelsey Mitchell. Why? Because she doesn't have a ring in or a playoff win yet.
Yeah, she hasn't been there at all, right?
So why would she have something to prove if she's never been there?
Because when I watch Kelsey Mitchell play, a lot of her game is predicated on she's extremely quick. She makes extremely quick movements. She's an excellent shooter. But when defenses focus in on her, which they will in the playoffs, because I'm not saying that they don't in the regular season, but when they are doing that in the playoffs, it's going to be interesting to see how she responds to that. You know?
So,
Because they'll have time to game plan for her multiple times, you know?
So some Iverson put, I have CC first team. It's arguable she's second team. And then they're going back and forth about who should take her spot. To answer your question, I don't feel like Kelsey has anything to prove. I mean, like, we already know who she is. She's a scorer. She could do well in the playoffs. I mean, and then she's playing on a team that wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not her expectations are a lot lower than Kelsey Plum. Now, when you're talking about proving,
Kelsey Plum always got championships, man.
Correct. So, but the better question is, doesn't she want to win 3? So
doesn't Kelsey Mitchell want to win one playoff game?
But right. You would want to win one playoff game, but if you've never been there, why would the expectations be through the roof to actually, you know what I'm saying, to win? But for Plum, they already have a team that's built to win a championship. Mm-hmm. So if they don't win, it's not going to be because of Asia. People are going to be pointing fingers at Plum, Clark. I'm talking about Alicia, Jackie Young, and Chelsea Gray. So I'm saying because of the expectations, she has a lot more to prove, especially in the playoffs.
So if the Aces bow out of the playoffs early, before where you think they would lose, and the Fever do the same, who do you think is going to catch more heat, Kelsey Plum or Kelsey Mitchell?
With Twitter,
assuming they both perform.
With Twitter, it's going to be Kelsey. That's a great question, but with Twitter, it's going to be Kelsey Mitchell. The Indiana fans are going to go crazy if Kelsey.
Well, I don't care about Twitter. What about Murrow Sports Media? What would Murrow Sports Media say? Would they pick Kelsey Plum or Kelsey Mitchell?
Again, it's the expectation level. So who are you expecting more from in the playoffs, Kelsey Plum or Kelsey Mitchell? You're expecting. I hope you're going to say Plum. I'm expecting more from KP than I am from Kelsey Mitchell, because she has to play well for them to win. And she's been their best guard this season. So it's like, if she's not playing well and they don't have the ability to win, it's like, what have you proven? What have you proven? I mean, I'm talking about this year. I'm not talking about last year. I'm talking about this year specifically.
But she's a champion. Like, you know, don't you think she gets a little bit of a
grace,
like a pass? Yeah.
Yes. I think there's a great, but if you're Asia Wilson, you think Asia Wilson cares if she's a champion? Asia Wilson wants to win again. So she's not. She's gonna be upset if they don't win. So I think that the pressure is higher for Kelsey Plum, and I think the expectations are higher for Kelsey Plum, which means she has more to prove. Like she has more to prove. Like, people are expecting her to do much more because they're gonna be playing for a longer period of time. So if she doesn't win or improve well, they want to talk MVP candidates. They want to. He's talking about Sabrina as a first team lock. On TikTok, when we done with She Shoots, I'm gonna get y'all in. We'll talk about that.
But okay, so if the Fever struggle in the playoffs, your Chicago Sky Kelsey Mitchell fantasy is gonna come true, because I feel like she's gonna get a lot of undue or due. She's gonna catch a lot of heat. She's gonna be responsible. Yeah, they're gonna run out of time. Exactly. So she's under a lot of pressure to perform.
And I guess on that front, that would make sense. So the chat agreed with me though. So shout out to the chat. June Dull put Kelsey P has to perform. Outside of Asia, she's the best offensive player. Oh, they're talking about Clark. They're talking about. Nah, to be honest, I see Kelsey staying if they're willing to pay her, even if she stinks it up.
Mitchell.
I mean, they're gonna have to, because they don't have another guard that they can put next to Caitlin in the backcourt right now. But that doesn't mean she got less to prove than the other one.
Kelsey Mitchell is probably the perfect fit for Caitlin Clark.
She's one of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say she's the only, but she's absolutely one of the, yeah, for sure. We're gonna skip a few topics, but I do want to ask this. What do you think is the single most thing that'll help drive the WNBA forward?
The single thing that'll keep people watching.
If that's what you want to interpret it as, yeah, go for it.
If Caitlin Clark wins a championship.
So if she wins a chip, people can keep watching?
Yeah.
So what if she doesn't win a chip?
I mean, people will follow the journey, just like they followed Michael's journey before he broke through in 91.
So your answer is CC?
My answer is CC. Yeah.
So
final answer.
But so the single most important thing I think that'll continue to help drive the WNBA forward is rivalries. Whether that be from a Paige versus Caitlin, whether it be from an Angel versus Caitlin, whether that be from the next era that's coming up, and they're gonna have rivalries, a Flaugier versus a Malaysia, a whomever. Like, I feel like the rivalries that we're gonna watch in the next 3 to 4 years or 3 to 5 years occur, and the W from the younger generation, from the older, Caitlin Clark versus Asia, right? I feel like all of these rivalries are gonna help bolster the league. So I mean, let me put, fans will be here next year if she wins or not. So then it's still, would that count as CC's hype will stay for at least 3 years? That's what some of the chat has put in. That's some of the chat has put in about regarding your Caitlin Clark take, Jordan. But yeah, I think rivalries would be the single most important thing in the WNBA, and I think they need to build it quickly.
Wait, what exactly was the question? Like what'll keep it going?
Yeah, what's the single most driving factor that'll help drive the WNBA forward? They put Paige versus Clark next year. That's what the media will play. No, the media will play Asia versus
actually
her rival.
The real answer is the health of Caitlin Clark. Knock on wood. But if Caitlin Clark has a catastrophic injury, dude, it's
so funny enough. I thought the same. I didn't think that, but I thought that girl Caitlin Clark got hurt today at practice. I said, I hope she's not getting hurt at practice today, because Katie Lou was jumping on her.
No.
Then she does the wrestling tap. I said,
Lou,
why y'all wrestling on the court? I said,
don't do that to her.
I said, why are you wrestling on? I said, you better not hurt her. But yeah, I thought that was funny. And she with the tap. I said, oh, there, she tapped out. I said, that means she. It's like, Katie Lou, don't hurt the girl. Don't hurt the girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's number one thing, her health. I mean, I was looking at the numbers last night. The Fever had 81,000 people at all their home games last year. So I mean, they passed that in 5 games this year, I think.
The Indiana Fever, just they're there. They've been transformed. Everybody, we're gonna cut it short. That's episode 30. Jordan, thank you. I appreciate you being on.
Absolutely. Thanks for the invite.
Everybody on TikTok, I'm gonna shift on to that now. I gotta run. I got pregame. I got pregame. We gotta bounce for this pregame. For real. I wouldn't try to have an expert. I appreciate everybody. Ghost, Wendy, everybody that's on TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. I appreciate y'all. With that being said, we're gonna be back on Saturday, episode 31. We'll be out this episode 30. Thank you, Jordan. Appreciate
you guys. Take care, man.
You're